Do you like tea? You like classic tea. I'm talking real classic. I'm talking the real stuff. I'm talking the good stuff. I'm talking Earl Grey Supreme. That's what we're going to talk about in this episode of the Rio Tea Import Company's Tea Review. Let's have some tea. Come on. That's right, everybody. We're going to talk about Earl Grey Supreme. That's on this episode of the Rio Tea Import Company's Tea Review. That's right. Again, 20 sachet box, 20 counts, 20 sachets in a nice little package. There they go, standard packaging. And let's open this up. And here's what we've got. Again, that awesome pyramid-shaped silken sachet. And let's get to the corners here. There we go. That's what we've got. And you've seen it before. You'll see it again. It's great. Now, oh man, you can smell already. The aroma hits you, and it is awesome. Let's see. We've got, well, it's according to the Harney & Sons website. Let's just go there first, and then we'll come back to this. It's a lovely citrus aroma, predominant. It's predominantly, there we go. It right away, it hits you. You open it up, give it a sniff, and yeah, you definitely smell the citrus, the bergamot. So according to them, they put in a higher amount of bergamot. And if you have not seen a bergamot, I'll include a picture right here. So you should see a picture now. And it looks like it's an orange that looks like it's not ready yet, but they're fantastic. I know growing up, the backyard of my grandmother's house, there was a tree that was an orange tree. We never, my cousins and I, we never let it get there. And the first time I smelled one of these Harney & Son Earl Grey Supremes, it took me back to that moment, to those oranges that they were done, but they were still kind of green, but they were done, and they were awesome. They were fantastic. And every time I smell it, that's what I smell. It's awesome. Now, the other thing you need to know, this is caffeinated, 40 to 60 milligrams of caffeine per sachet. So be careful out there, especially if you're on the no caffeine kick. Sorry, but again, this does the trick. It's late afternoon right now. Perfect time for a cup of Earl Grey Supreme. With larger tippy tea and silver tips, this is a lighter bodied tea. Yes, it doesn't feel heavy, but the caffeine kind of makes up for that. So you can have this with a little late afternoon tea sandwiches, cookies, biscuits as they call it across the pond, biscuits, or just whatever. You can even have it with lunch. It's really, really good. It's a nice mixture of large black leaves and brown leaves of the oolong. There's a little bit of oolong in there, and silver needles of the white tea. So you've got I'm going to take a photograph of this, and you'll see a much up close and better shot of this, and you should see that right here. Yeah, it's right there. And as you see, it's a little closer, and you should be able to really, really make out what's going on those tea leaves. And you'll see a couple of long leaves, and I'll make sure that gets into the photograph. Let's see, what else have we got? I'm just kind of looking around, making sure I'm not missing anything, because I know the moment I finish is the moment I will forget something. The liquor is a lighter brown, of the Earl Grey tea is a lighter brown than most Earl Greys. So it's still a dark tea, but again, it's just a little lighter. And this is because of the higher proportion of the large tippy teas and the silver tips of or the silver needles of the white tea. So you're going to see it, that carries over. So it kind of dilutes it. It doesn't necessarily take it away, but it does dilute it. So watch out for that. Now, the lemony flavors are perfectly balanced with the delicious tea base. In comparison to other Earl Greys, this is a nice natural sweetness from all the tippy teas. So again, it's a classic, but it's a spin on the classic. It's going to be lighter. It's more easier on the palate, and especially if this is your first time with Earl Greys, or you're a seasoned Earl Grey veteran and you're used to it, you need to try this, because again, this will definitely take you down another path, another journey that you're going to like. Now, when it comes to brewing this tea, it's real simple. 212 degrees water for 4 to 5 minutes. Just have it, let it sit there, enjoy. Again, you can add sugar, you can add sweetener, you can add some honey. I prefer honey on this one. It's just my flavor of choice, my sweetener of choice. and like it. Don't add too much because then it starts taking away, and that's okay. If you like it really, really sweet, it'll start taking away from the citrusy flavor, the lemony, and all of that. But it doesn't really take away from the body of the tea. You'll just start to dilute some of that. So be careful. Play with it. Again, for all first-timers, I do recommend you take a sip or two or drink a cup bare. Take it nude, without anything, just plain Earl Grey Supreme tea, and I think you'll like what you will find in that tea. Tell you what, let's make a cup. Join me here. We're gonna be right back. Okay, we're back. So 5 minutes have passed. We've let the Earl Grey Supreme steep, and it's very aromatic. Again, it's one of those, when I poured the water into the cup, it steam rises right back up at you. You get to be fortunate enough to be standing right over that, and you get a blast of Earl Grey Supreme right in your face, shoots up your nose. It's fantastic. That aroma just envelops you. It's citrus, it's white tea, black tea, little brown leaves of oolong. It's awesome. It's fantastic aroma. And there you can see the color. I'm trying to see if I can get it out here too. Sorry about that. Let the light hit a little bit. There you go. You can kind of see through it. Very nice, rich light. You can see some red. It's fantastic. It does the trick. And I know what you're thinking. But Dave, it's about to be summer. We're in spring, and you're drinking hot teas in spring. Hey, there's no set time that says, well, you have to only drink hot tea in the winter and cold tea in the summer. This, fortunately, is one of those teas that can go both ways. You can have it hot, you can have it cold. I love Earl Grey as a hot tea. I mean, it could be 100 and something outside, which we're getting close to it, I guarantee it. But rather take it inside in the AC, because sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. There's that sniffy sniff. I added a little bit of honey to this. That's why I was giving a little stir, and that comes out. And that comes out on top of the bergamot, on top of the other aromatics that are in there. You can taste the bergamot. You can taste the white tea. You can taste just a hint of the oolong in there. It's just very light, but the bergamot and that citrus flavor does come through. I could recommend you also add some lemon juice. Squeeze a little lemon over the top of this. Maybe a little spritz, get the rind, the peel of the lemon, get that in there and just kind of let it sit there, and kind of helps it out. But it's not going to take away from it, I guarantee it. Now, speaking of the hot tea, cold tea controversy, as we start changing the calendar, as the calendars start changing, well, I'm going to start switching modes here. I am going to start doing a couple more cold teas. They're great hot, but they're even better cold. And so be ready for that. I hope you like blueberry. I hope you like ginger. I hope you like peaches, because that's what's coming down the line. Remember, we had done one of the early episodes, we did pomegranate oolong, and that was nice and cold, and that was fantastic. It was quick to finish, though, as far as the pomegranate goes. It did finish quick, but I've tried out two of them so far, the blueberry and peach, and they're not quick to finish. They're very flavorful. You can tell that these teas are made for spring, summer, being outside and enjoying outside with these natural fruits. There's ginger in there, so again, fantastic stuff, and you know what ginger does. It's very good for us. So we're going to give that a shot here in the coming weeks, and I hope you stick around. But in the meantime, we've got Earl Grey tea. It's not that bad outside, but you know what? Drop a couple of ice cubes, and then squeeze some lemon juice in here. Take it out, take it on the go. And we're going to also talk about some containers, some to-go containers, and what works best and what doesn't. You got to be careful, because there's some that will take the hot on your way to making it cold, and then there's going to be some that don't take the hot at all. They'd rather have it cold. So you've got to be careful what you're looking for, and we're going to talk about that as well. But in the meantime, we're talking Earl Grey Supreme in the silken sachet, little packet. Again, it is fantastic. Excuse me, wow. It is fantastic. It's very flavorful, very rich. 40 to 60 milligrams of caffeine. So you've got to be careful if you're watching your caffeine intake. If you don't drink coffee early in the morning, or you drink an English breakfast tea, an Earl Grey will do you well. However, if you've got to have your pumpkin spice latte or your cinnamon dolce and gabbana latte, whatever it's called, be careful. Be careful. So you might want to offset one for the other. But if you're trying to get away from caffeine as much as possible and slowly wean yourself off, in the afternoons you got to have your cup. Why not make it a cup of Earl Grey Supreme? Trust me, the caffeine is just enough to tide you over, to get you over the hump for the rest of the day, but it won't carry into dinner, so that you can still enjoy a very good dinner, a very good meal. And I think that's pretty much it. Any questions, as always, drop us an email, tea@rioteaimport.com, and follow us on Twitter, Rio Tea Import, @Rio, and that's all down here, of course, as always, or is it up here? Here or here? Maybe both places. I don't know, but we'll see. Or you'll see. That's it. You'll see in the final outtake. Well, anyway, my name is David Guerra. I thank you for stopping by to watch the Rio Tea Import Company's tea review. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon.